Okay, everyone, hello and welcome to the first day of the UAP Coaching Conference. Super stoked that you all are here. Thanks for taking time to come to the welcome party. This is a chance to get to know one another, and also I'm going to go over some of the logistics of the conference, some of what's new. So if you've been a returner to this conference, if you've come a few times, it'll be good for you to hear what's up, and you get a little behind the scenes of how we do things. So yeah, anyway, I'm super excited to have you here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get started. I'm going to share my screen and just give you a few logistics. Yeah, so let's just get started, actually. All right. So, all right. Again, welcome to the UAP Coaching Conference. You are in the right place if this is what you were trying to do. And, oh, excellent. Hey, Tsepo, nice to see you from South Africa. Great. We've got people from Colombia. Yeah, that's awesome. So actually, yeah, this would be fun. In the chat, if you want to put where you're from, so we can see where everyone is representing. Got Bogota, Colombia, South Africa, and Brazil in the chat box already. Awesome. Okay, so this is one of the things I love about the conference is that we have such a global representation. And this is why I wanted to do the welcome party and the after party, is because, you know, I travel around the world. I get to see all these coaches and players, or a lot of them. Some of them I've only met virtually. And I just want to give you all a taste of that, that experience, to know that you're part of a global ultimate community of coaches. So, okay, let me, anyone else in the waiting room? Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do today is, yeah, I just want you to have the best conference experience. So that's kind of what this welcome party is set up to help you do. What we're going to do today, just going to go over a few quick logistics real quick. I'm going to give you a few tips on having a great conference experience. I want to tell you what's new for this year. I want to talk about a possible new project, UAPX, and then you're going to get to meet your fellow conference attendees, which I think will be the highlight of this welcome party. So, can everyone see my slides as well? If I can have a thumbs up just to check that, that would be helpful. That might be more interesting. Watching my face. Got Macedonia, excellent. That's a new one. All right, got a thumbs up. Okay, you can see my slides, excellent. Lots of South Africa, Romania, St. Louis, cool, Montreal, Los Angeles, Ontario, excellent. All right, great to have you all here. Okay. So just to quickly go over the logistics for the conference, every morning you should get a schedule in your inbox. It'll tell you what's up for the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, you're going to get 10-minute reminders before each presentation. We do this just because we found that this is what's most effective to helping people most easily arrive. So you'll have the Zoom link that you need right at the top of your inbox, and it makes it very easy. Now, I know for those of you who are watching the recordings or whatever, it generates a lot of emails. You know, if you're not using them, you can just delete them, but that is the most convenient way to get the Zoom link. It's just 10 minutes before each presentation, you have it in your inbox. And then if you are watching the replays, especially for those of you who are, you know, not wanting to get up in the middle of the night, depending on your time zone, the presentations are going to be available approximately 9 a.m. Eastern is when we're going to do the switchover. So like if we have a talk on Monday, then it's available Tuesday, 9 a.m. to Wednesday, 9 a.m. Okay, so that's how the recordings work. And then you go to the same page, it's going to be in your inbox. You'll have a link to that every day. So that's how you find the recordings if you need to watch any of the recordings. And then, of course, if you are a UAP Coaching and Game IQ Classroom member, then you're going to have access to the recordings, the slides, etc. And we're going to try to do that also 9 a.m. the day after the presentation, approximately. So those are the ways that you can watch. If you get confused or need any info, you can go to theuap.com, and then there's links to the registration page, etc. that has all that stuff in the schedule. If you have any questions about that, leave it in the chat box, and I will get back to you. Okay, so quick tips on having a great conference experience. I think it's really important on these live presentations. You know, to increase your attention span, it's a good idea to turn your notifications off on your phone when you arrive so that you can pay attention and be really present. Though we do have the recordings, I think that you get the best experience by showing up live. It's kind of easier to pay attention when you feel like it's going on in real time. And then also, if you have questions or thoughts, it's easy to jot them down either in the chat box or as a note, and then ask at the end. I also recommend in the chat box, sometimes what happens is that people get into conversations with one another, and that's fine. Like, I want you to meet each other, but just know that if you're doing that, then it's also difficult to pay attention to the chat box and to the presentation at the same time. So if you're watching, you can also, I think, minimize the chat box. And I'd recommend that the chat box, if you have a question, you can put it in there. Sometimes we'll do the Q&As at the end. Sometimes there'll be breakout rooms depending on the presentation. But as far as just having side conversations, yeah, I might recommend just you can also, I think, DM people in the chat box. So if you have someone specific you're wanting to talk to about a specific thing, you could maybe do that. But yeah, I would just say use the chat box sparingly until the Q&A, so that you can best pay attention to what's going on in the presentation and don't miss anything. And then remember, you've got, if you're a Coaching and Game IQ Classroom member, you've also got the Facebook group, so you can also have your side conversations there. If you want to discuss a presentation, that's a really good place to go. Many of our presenters are in that group also, so if you have in-depth questions that didn't get answered, you can also ask there and have conversation there. I do encourage you to get to know someone new. So we're going to do that today. We have the closing party as well. And then, yeah, if you do see people that show up repeatedly that you want to get to know better, you can feel free to use the DMs or whatever in the chat box. Okay. And then, of course, I recommend signing up for the UAP Coaching and Game IQ Classroom. If you do that early, if you do that like today, then your brain can kind of relax. Like, you don't feel the pressure that you have to get it all done or watch all the presentations all at once. Or if you do get caught up in a conversation with a coach in the chat box, then you know that you can go back and review the presentation later. So that's another way that can help you just relax and enjoy the experience, the live experience. Okay, so I want to talk about something we're doing new this year, just so you're aware. We're going to have 2 presentations that are going to be done in Spanish when they're live. These are Daniel Moreno's and Vanessa Rincones. These are going to be the ones about gamification of practice and about managing a remote team. So there's going to be awesome presentations. They're going to be done in Spanish. So if you're a bilingual or if you have intermediate Spanish, you might want to come and listen. They're going to be facilitated by Anna. They're not going to be translated live. Okay, so I just really want to make sure that you know what to expect. If you do have an intermediate level Spanish, feel free to ask questions in the Q&A, and I can facilitate a little bit of translation of the Q&A if necessary. But really the focus of these presentations is the live presentations. We're expecting primarily Spanish speakers. And then we are going to add English subtitles. Those recordings with the English subtitles will be available later. This will be the first time that we're trying to do it with this quick of a turnaround time. We're anticipating about 48 hours. We would appreciate feedback for those of you who are bilingual or Spanish speakers. If you notice that there's things that are not good about the subtitles, if you happen to read them, if you're bilingual, feel free to let us know. Or of course, if you're an English speaker and something you're reading in the subtitles doesn't make sense, please let us know, and then we can kind of fix it as we go. So this is kind of new for us, working in different languages other than English. So we appreciate your patience as we expect, might not be perfect the first time, but we're excited by this opportunity. So, and I hope you are too. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is UAPX. So this is kind of an idea I had this year. At each conference we have like between 10 and 15 speakers depending on the year. And one thing we realize is like we always feel like we're sort of missing sections of the globe, different sections each year. So sometimes we have more representation from Latin America, sometimes more representation from Europe, sometimes more or less from Southeast Asia. And we can never really cover the whole globe. And I think it would be kind of beneficial to have smaller conferences that are more focused on what your community needs. So if you had a UAP conference, you could cover really exactly what your community wants. And another thing that we run into in these large conferences is that we tend to draw very experienced coaches, but sometimes as attendees in our surveys, there's a lot of people that desire to hear from people who are not total expert coaches or not coaching at the elite level. So I think there's definitely a need that could be filled by other conferences. And the issue with me trying to attract people that want to talk about, say, like, if they've only been coaching a few years and just want to share things, often those coaches don't feel comfortable speaking at this conference because they feel like they have to be coaching at the elite level or something. So I'm just telling you, there's a need for non-expert coaches talking to other non-expert coaches. Like, that's something that people want that I'm currently not able to provide as easily as I'd like to. So I'm just telling you, there's kind of a need for that based on what I see. Yeah, and then also you can kind of provide a lower pressure environment to sort of create leadership opportunities for your community. I think that's a really important thing too. But anyway, the idea here is, if you like this conference, if you think it's something that could be useful to your community, this is something that I can train you on, because we've done it for 10 years now. We have a lot of procedures and what we call SOPs, standard operating procedures, in place. Very easy to share with you all for anyone who wants to learn how to do it. So basically, you learn how to gather speakers, gather a good speaker panel. You learn how to handle the tech part of running a conference and providing recordings, etc. And then the most important part is getting people to show up for your conference, which I think people underestimate that part. So if this is something that you think would be good for your community, please get in touch. Again, why I think this is important: you can cover the topics your community needs most. I think it's an opportunity to provide kind of specifics. A lot of our coaches like to talk about higher level stuff like culture building, motivation, etc. Again, because they're experienced coaches that have been coaching for a while. But a lot of what people need are more of the details, like they want specific drills or kind of want to hear from people who have less experience. And I think that's where these smaller conferences could be really helpful in fulfilling those needs. Again, it also creates a leadership opportunity for the coaches in your community. I think this would be great for confidence building. Everyone that comes to the conference, we have many repeat speakers. Their first year, they're kind of nervous about it, feel like they don't have anything to talk about, have a little bit of imposter syndrome. And then after they do the conference, then they realize that they can put together a presentation, that people are going to value their experience. And I think that's really awesome. So I think that's something that that you all could do as well. And whoops, let me go backwards. Another piece is fostering a culture of mutual improvement and education among the coaches in your area. When we first started the conference, sometimes coaches would view this as sort of like their secret, because they get to like learn new tactics and things. But we all get better when we all get better, right? So if all of the coaches in your community are improving, then it's kind of about the bigger picture, right? So not one team or one coach having all the information and education, but you all growing together. So I think kind of fostering that culture where you're sharing knowledge with one another, even though you're competing with one another on the field, I think would be really awesome. Yeah, and then another thing you can do is you can use it to add a source of revenue. Okay, so people pay for to either come to the conference or to get the recordings of the conference. So yeah, it is a good source of revenue. That's something your community needs, or also a way for you to add value to your existing membership in a new way. So if you're interested in any of those things, what I'd like you to do is just email me, and I'm going to have some kind of conversations one-on-one with you all later this week or next. So that is what is on the horizon. Again, I envision this being maybe a 12-week training program as you actually prepare and do a conference. So this is, again, for those of you who want to do a conference. And my vision is that this would be half paid. So about half of the people doing this program would pay, and then half would be scholarship for those who would not be able to afford it. So if you're interested, again, just email me. Okay, so all right, that's pretty much all the logistics, etc. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here. You're here on the conference for free, but you're also spending your time, and I think that's extremely valuable. So I just want to give props to you, and I really appreciate your attendance here. Okay, so what we're going to do next is stop screen sharing, and I want to give you all a chance to get to meet each other. Okay, great. If you missed the intro part, so if you joined a little later, that's fine. Again, you can see the recording tomorrow. And a lot of this is covered in the emails as well. All right, so what we're going to do is I want to put you into some breakout rooms and basically give you a chance to get to meet your fellow coaches. The first question I want you to do, we're going to do this for maybe 7 minutes. I'll maybe put you in groups of approximately 4. And all I want you to do is just introduce yourself. Say who you are, say where you're from, and maybe what brought you to this conference. Like why are you here? Either how did you learn about it? Is this your first time? Are you a regular attendee? You know, what are you hoping to get from the conference? So let's see if I can do that. Okay. I want 4 things that will be, all right, let's do this. Okay. All right, so again, you're just going to introduce yourself, where you're from, and why you're here. And we'll do that for about 7 minutes. Okay, so you should see a notification to join your room. If for any reason you can't join your room, maybe you're in a loud environment, you're secretly watching at work, that's fine, but you're invited to join and get to know your fellow coaches. Okay, Anna, thanks for joining. Oops. Okay. Hello, hello. All right, we have just joined breakout rooms. So Kat and Anna, I'm gonna assign you to a room. You're just gonna get to know your fellow coaches.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I was in a breakout room, but my headphones went berserk, so.
Oh, whoops, okay.
Somehow.
Okay, well, that's all right. We'll put you in a new one. Okay, and I'm gonna join.
College in my hometown. So I'm just looking for more resources, more information. Hey, I'm on call, Dad. Yeah. So just looking for information and techniques or what other people around the world are doing.
Well, hi, my name is Carlos. It's actually not Miranda, as you might be watching it there. That's my daughter's name. So my name is Carlos. I'm from Venezuela. So I am a former professional volleyball athlete. I played in the national team here. So I retired 2 years ago, approximately. And I had a friend who played Ultimate here in Caracas, and I went to a practice and I fell in love with the sport. So right now I have like only a year playing, and I'm also an SNC coach here. I train athletes, I lead athletes and development athletes. So I've been playing Ultimate, but also coaching my club with the SNC, part. And basically, I'm at the stage where I'm really, really excited, like playing a new sport, and I feel like I am 15 years old when I started playing volleyball. So I'm 38, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm eager to learn a lot this week. Thanks for all this, Melissa.
Dude, I saw your message on the group. I'm so glad you're here, dude. Oh, yes. What's up, man?
Yeah. One of the speakers has
Yeah.
has some background like that. He was a professional volleyball, and he
Ah.
has like a Latin name too. I
you
don't
mean
know
from
what
last
it
year?
is. I don't know if it was from last year when I was researching. He was a former volleyball player too, and then he played frisbee, and he became a pretty good player really quick. I learned his story. I don't know if it was the last year's or this.
Oh, cool. So you and Seppo know each other?
No. I just read his story,
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He
so
messaged me
I
a big-
related to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm 6'6". So
Yeah.
everybody wants me in their team because I can jump and then catch the disc. Also I need a little technique, but with the time.
With time. Excellent. Seppo, did you introduce yourself already?
Yeah, like I literally introduced myself and then we moved to Elijah and then it was like recording started and I was like, well, probably gonna have to do it again.
No, that's good. Just hopping around in different breakout rooms.
Say again? Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Do you need me to introduce myself again or
No,
is
I
it
know who you
still?
are.
Wait, six. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to
No,
see how the
so-
breakout rooms were going and I just popped in. So yeah, that's it.
Oh wait. Elijah, you say you're in Alabama, dude. So like, do you coach a team there or who do you play for?
This past year I played mixed for Huntsville Space Force, but I also coached the UAH men's team out of Huntsville, and we've been doing youth stuff here just within the city since about 2018. So I've been helping with that for a while.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick because like I'm coaching the university team, and we're like basically involved with the youth now. And what I try to do is I'm trying to like get into schools so that like we get a good feeding system so that we can like build a community. And we're trying to think of ways to get involved with schools and do things that are like engaging with like the youth and stuff. So yeah, just to like spread it as much as we can. So what Melissa was saying about the whole get information from like not the top people, but people like at the grassroots would be very valuable like right now. And yeah, I also have some cool stuff, but do I have some cool stuff? Actually, I'm in the middle of some cool stuff. We like the university year like just started today. So we were out, we tried a few games. So that was pretty exciting. And yeah, like it's good to see fresh people try to like throw forehands and backhands. And we gave them enough time to just like try it out. And some people really got into it. So that was a nice sight to see.
Amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, Seppo, we'll have you on the conference, sometime.
Shout out. Yeah, no, happy to do it. Happy to do
That'd
it.
be awesome.
Yeah, we do have, just in case you're, you're in the coaching and game IQ classroom. Yeah, Seppo, is that right?
I was, but I only paid for like 1 month because that's all I could afford. Yeah. And then, just like kept all the resources and I'm starting to implement like the stuff now, trying to get a high performance program going. And I should have emailed this, but like I need to sort of learn how to create, how you say, programs, because I want to do something like a small group of people in the entire like Frisbee club. They get like, I don't know, like extra training because they paid for it last time and that's how I got into the program now. So I want to like sort of create a program that justifies the payments and then you sort of, get that whole thing going and then you sort of build like a program within a club, but it's not on everybody because you don't want the whole club to be competitive because you still want that draw. But so I need something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure you can do it. Yeah, because entrepreneurial mindset is going to be helpful for you there. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of get out of the breakout rooms and then, I'm just going to have some kind of discussion things. So I'll put you back in and we'll have some more discussion questions. I think I'll put you back in the same ones. I'm not sure what Zoom is going to do. We'll see. Anyway, really nice to meet you all for the first time or again. Yeah, I'll see you in the big room.
Good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Oops, let's see. So I think what should happen is, oh yeah, is that we will close the breakout rooms, bring people in. Hello, Kat.
Hello.
All right, so we've got Cheska is joining us. Excellent. Okay. So Kat, were you able to be in a breakout room?
Yes.
Okay, great. Cool. We're just gonna bring everybody in and then we'll ask another question and put you back. Okay, welcome back to the big room. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and welcome back. Okay, so hopefully that was fun for you all. Put a 1 in the chat if you met someone from a country that is different than the one you're currently in. Lots of folks, cool, cool. Excellent. Pretty much everyone. Okay, that's about what I figured. Cool, 1 and 1, excellent. Multiple people, good. Okay, great. And then how about put a 2 in the chat if you got in the breakout room with someone that you already knew or someone whose name you recognized. Have that happen? Old friends? Or maybe someone you played against? No one? All right, so you're all making lots of new friends. That's good. That's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, did anyone learn anything interesting, surprising in your introductions? All new and it's great, says Serena. Excellent. If you want to unmute yourself and share, love to hear from a few of you.
So in our group, we had a professional volleyball player, a very tall guy, interesting guy. And what's dope about like Ultimate is how other sports can sort of transition into it. You're like nice and fit, nice and competitive, and anyone can fall in love with the sport. You know, anyone that's like pretty fresh or anyone that's like a professional, you know, that just likes to compete, that likes to be an athlete. So yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Good to see that that's well and truly going on.
Awesome. Thanks, Seppo. Anyone else want to share meeting someone cool?
Well, I've never met someone from South Africa before, so I think it's cool.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, cool, cool. All right, I'm going to give you another discussion question and put you back in your breakout rooms. I want you to, get to know your community of coaches so that if you're having specific coaching issues, you might get a better idea of who to reach out to, or if you have specific strengths that you want to share, you make those known. So what I want you to do is I'm going to put you back in your breakout rooms. I want you to share one thing that's your strength as a coach, whether you're experienced, just starting, we all have strengths as coaches. So I want you to share that with your group. And then I want you to share one thing that's challenging for you as a coach, maybe something that you're looking for some extra help on. So Yeah, so that's it. So one thing is your strength, one thing you're maybe looking for help on or is challenging for you as a coach. And we'll put you back in breakout rooms for about, let's give you 10 minutes since these are kind of more complex discussion questions. And yeah, and if you find yourself in a breakout room with no one in it, just come back to the main room and I'll reassign you. So here we go. Oh, excellent. All right. Okay, and some of you have not yet been assigned to a room, so I will assign you. Jessica, I'm going to assign you here. Who else needs some people? Okay, I'm going to assign. Again, if you can't join a room because you're somewhere noisy or just don't want to, that's fine. But this is your invitation to get to know some other coaches. Okay, and I'm going to join this room.
Super extra. Oh, whoa.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
Hello.
Hey, so how are you guys? I'm just here to kind of, yeah, eavesdrop, listen in, and
Okay,
also
sweet.
join your room since you had just two. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Cool. Should I keep talking then?
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that one of my challenges is when the kids are extra wily or extra just not focused. Sometimes occasionally I'll be a little impatient. Sometimes that's hard. But mostly, let's see. I think my biggest challenge is closing the skill gap between brand new players and players who've played for a while, especially this coming season. We have a returning team who've played together for a full season, and some of those kids have played Ultimate for like 2 or 3 seasons. But that team has played together, so we're building some cohesion, and now we have a couple of brand new players who've never played Ultimate before. So I know that'll be a little bit of a challenge to find ways to help bridge that gap and meet everybody where they're at. So
Nice. So where are you coaching and what age group again? Sorry, I missed that.
it's okay. Portland, Oregon in the US, and middle schoolers primarily.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's the team that I'm talking about. So yeah. Where are you coaching, Melissa?
I'm doing more one-on-one Zoom coaching. Yeah, I haven't coached a team in a while. It's been a minute.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have a regular location and a regular team. So
Okay.
I went first, and I had said how this year I normally coach high school, but this year was the first year since 2019 that we were able to get back on the field in school sports in the country, in Dominican Republic. And so most of my kids this year, we have 30 kids, and like around 22 to 24 of them are from 6th through 8th grade. So it's been just a new challenge for me, trying to figure out how to change the way I coach, because I try to coach them like high schoolers at the beginning, and we would go through a drill and I would have to explain it every single time because nobody paid attention in the line, because they would just be like throwing things at each other, throwing grass at each other. And so it's just like trying to like divide them into smaller groups and do more fun things that just gets them disc skills throwing, because like later on they'll get better in, like, I assume in the flow of the game. But it's just been really hard for me to transition from coaching high schools for a high school team. Like I started in 2016 and like build a program, and for the last, from 2017, 18, and 19, we had a really solid group. And then like now we're back at zero. Like in 2016, I started with sophomores, juniors, and like one senior. And now I'm starting with 6th graders and 7th graders. So it's a little different. And it was awesome that I got in and I was put in a group with Sarah, because she coaches youth middle school. And she's been giving me a lot of input that I can learn from.
that's sweet. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you two found each other. Yeah, I know we have some presentations from previous years from a couple of more middle school focused. You might find those helpful. There's one by Victor I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. Victor from Brazil. He gave a talk on just specifically middle school athletes. So
That's cool.
I find that helpful. Yeah, and then there's a couple other ones. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we have a few other folks that are more younger age, youth focused. But yeah, we could always use more presentations about middle school, because I think that's something that's becoming more important and more popular in different parts of the world. So, and it is definitely different. The presentations you might find most helpful for this year might be Daniel Moreno's like small games. He uses a lot of small games in his coaching, and he uses it for masters athletes and adults, college players. But I think that kind of philosophy of doing small games can be helpful for a wide variety of situations. So that might be a good one for this year. And did you guys share your strengths as coaches as well?
Yeah.
Sarah did. I said that right now I feel like I don't have strength right now. I'm like the previous years, it was just I was able to just build a relationship with my kids and be able to, they like trust me and motivate them. But now like I had to like redo everything. So sometimes I lose my patience, and my wife she coaches with me, and she kind of takes over a lot because I'm like anxious and stressed because kids aren't paying attention, and then she's a lot better with me with the younger kids. So she's helped me a lot with that. So I'm just learning as I go so I can get better for them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. I just invited Fatima. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, that's right. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, no worries. So we're just we did a little intro, and then we this breakout room and discussing our strengths as coaches, and also what we're maybe looking for help with. So yeah, do you want to give us a quick intro? Tell us who you are, where you're from, and
Sure.
While you're here.
Sure. My name is Fatima. I'm originally Lebanese, but I live in Kuwait. I'm part of a team here called Kuwait Raptors, and I'm currently the captain of the team, even though I haven't been playing for long. And yeah, I just want any tips on anything related to managing a team or even supporting in coaching or anything, literally. Just any advice you guys have, just throw it my way. I'm sure I'm going to find it very useful.
Amazing. What do you feel like are your strengths as a coach?
I think I have a good balance between being firm but also easygoing. So it's really it's easy for me to manage people and like also know how to deal with each person differently than the other, because you can't just deal with everyone the same way. Some people are more sensitive, some people you need to be like tougher with them, so on and so forth. So I think that's one of the reasons why the team wanted me to be their captain.
Amazing. And you're with the other adults, is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to the conference. Yeah, you're going to learn.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Well, I guess I think maybe we should introduce ourselves since you just got here. I'm Danilo, and I'm from Dominican Republic, and I coach high school and middle school ultimate, and I also play club in DR.
That's amazing.
My name's Sarah Heath, and I live in Portland, Oregon in the US, and I coach middle school, and I also play as well.
Cool. Yeah. So Fatima, I guess there's not much is there much middle school and high school ultimate in Kuwait?
There is absolutely none.
Right.
Like Ultimate Frisbee in Kuwait started 2017 with 4 people on the beach just throwing a disc around.
Yeah.
And then slowly we now have 2 teams with a community of maybe 70 players overall. Some of them taking it more seriously, obviously, others just for pickup games and whatnot. But yeah, we currently have 2 teams in Kuwait. So we're relatively new, like babies. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing. Okay, great. All right, so I think, so you all know me. I'm Melissa. I'm organizing. I'm going to give the breakout rooms about 1 more minute. But do you guys have any questions for me since I happen to be in your breakout room? I guess I can give a little intro about myself. So I'm currently in, where am I? I am in Olympia, Washington. I move around a lot and I'm visiting a friend, staying in their house. So I coach all over the world. So I'll be giving a talk later this week about just kind of how to be adaptable, because I think that's one of the things I've learned in coaching in various cultures and jumping from team to team. I do a lot of clinics, or I sometimes show up at practices and just run a practice at random. And then I've also been doing some one-on-one coaching with athletes who are trying to get to the elite level. So lately, I feel like my focus has always been on helping people to efficiently get from point A to point B. And so I've been working with a lot of athletes who are trying to get to a higher level from, say, intermediate level, or from beginner level to intermediate. And I'm doing that one-on-one. So that's been a fun result of the pandemic, something I got pushed into doing that I don't think I would have otherwise, but it's been really, really fun. So I'll be talking about that a little bit later this week. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna close it up and take us to the big room. Yeah. Nice to meet you all. Oops. Oh wait, I need to leave too. Welcome back, everyone. Super fun to meet a few more of you. I love hopping around in the breakout rooms. Okay, so yeah, again, I'd love to hear kind of what you all are learning from each other. Also, maybe in the chat box, if you want to answer these same questions in the chat box, just quickly drop in like maybe say your strength and your challenge in the chat box. That way, you know, if you want to sort of like match up, see if there's someone specifically that you might be able to help or connect with later on, or ask for help and connect with later on, that'd be cool. All right, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, again, what I just said was, if you want to in the chat box, also answer that question briefly, maybe a sentence with one of your strengths as a coach, a sentence with maybe what you're looking for. That might help you just kind of connect with someone, you know, and match up your strengths and what you're looking for help with later on. And then while we're doing that, if you want to raise your hand, you can do that with the reactions at the bottom. So if you haven't used Zoom before, there's like a reaction with a smiley face. And then you can like raise your hand. That way, maybe you don't have to worry about talking over other people. So if you want to raise your hand and just maybe tell me, yeah, something that you found interesting in your latest discussion, or something you want to share, reflections, that'd be really helpful. So, all right, Camila, excellent, good to see you. What do you have to say? Unmute yourself.
Hey Mel.
Hey.
I actually wanted to ask a question because I raised my hand before, but
Okay.
so are we having more breakout rooms today?
Today, so each presenter kind of gets to choose their own adventure. So some of them may be doing breakout rooms, some maybe not. Can I ask like why you're asking the question? That might help me.
Because I think it's helpful if it's possible if you let the timing, I don't know, that we know how many minutes we have left.
Right.
Because sometimes we're talking and then 60 seconds and we're like, oh my God. I don't know if it's possible. I've seen that in some meetings, some other opportunities. If it's possible, if you can do that, great. If not, it's okay. I understand.
Oh,
but,
right, like if there's a timer in the breakout room. Oh yeah.
yeah,
okay.
timer. Yeah. But I'm going to answer your question since I'm here talking already.
Amazing.
And one thing that I thought it was very interesting in my group, that all of us are willing to develop their abilities and skills in general. So not only physical abilities, but also about communicative skills and trying to become more empowered and more confident about themselves. So we're willing to help our coaches or our athletes in general, if we want to be coaches someday or not. I am already a coach. An amateur, a beginner, but I am already a coach, and yeah, so I'm always trying to develop and improve myself, and I'm always, every year I'm here and learning, and I'm very grateful that you exist and all these people are here, and it's an amazing opportunity. Every time I'm learning something new, and I'm adding this to my team all the time. So yeah, and I think one thing that I'm great at, I think I'm a person that is very open to listen to people and to talk to people and to help people, and trying to explain things in different ways and trying to simplify things. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Camila. Yeah, so even as beginning coaches, like I think it's important to recognize that we still have strengths even if we just started. And so in our breakout room, we had Fatima, who's also a new coach, but recognizes people want her as a coach because she has certain strengths of being able to be both firm and flexible in the right amounts, and treat different people differently, give people what they need. So yeah, we're all bringing strengths as coaches. I think that's kind of how many coaches get into leadership positions, is because they have some either learned or natural leadership abilities, and then by you know, purposefully training ourselves, we can make the most of those talents. So that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for being here. Anyone else want to share either their own strengths and weaknesses or something that they learned from their breakout room group that they thought was interesting? Go ahead and you raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead. All right. Easy moves is what I'm seeing on your screen.
Hey, hi, Melissa. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Something that that we share in common as something that we can work on as coaches with Santiago and Gabriel was that how you know how to find the tools to be more connected with our team in order to be more coherent with what the team wants and what their actions are saying they're doing. So for example, if we want to go to a world championship, you know, there are certain amount of things that you have to do as a team, from the individual aspect as to the collective aspect, to actually be a competitive team and maybe fight, I don't know, for the first 4 spots, you know. And a lot of the players collectively, maybe I would say, don't understand the sacrifices and the discipline, you know, and the amount of effort that you have to put in order to be at that level. So I think that we all three as coaches agree that that's something that we're constantly working on, you know, like how to understand what the team wants and what the team is doing in order to be coherent with the goals and the objectives.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. So just what's coming to mind is, yeah, last year's presentation from Tarek is a good one for kind of transitioning from casual to more competitive play. So if you're a classroom member or thinking of becoming a classroom member, even for just a month, that would be a really good presentation for you to look at. Yeah. And then also, I'm sure folks in the chat can also maybe contribute. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Sorry, what was your name again, and where are you tuning in from?
My name is Ezekiel Garcia, and I am from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay, excellent, awesome, great, glad to have you here. Okay, and I think I saw another hand up somewhere. Who was that? Someone put their hand down. Yeah, anyone else want to share?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Carlos. I'm struggling a little bit with my current team because it's an amateur team. Okay, because in Venezuela there's no like professional. I think the team has a really good level, like nationally, from what I've seen with a year of experience. I think if the team was professional, we'll have like one of the 2 best players in the country, very well paid. Okay, so I'm struggling because I've played professionally other sport, to make them understand that if they put the, like, sometimes I think because they're amateur, they don't you know, they don't have the conduct or the behavior that they can have to reach even a higher level from what they have. So they stay at a level that I think, and I want to make them understand that they can get higher with maybe with a little bit of discipline, with some things that don't take too much time, but will make a lot of difference from the strength and conditioning perspective. So, for example, I've gave them a plan, you know, that I put together in Excel to each member of the team to be at the best physical level in a tournament we're playing on Thursday. And, you know, I know because I can see it in their eyes, like 70% of the team didn't do it. And that frustrates me. So maybe having a strategy to make them understand that as a coach, it's something that, you know, I wanna accomplish, I guess.
Cool, amazing. Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, I think so much of what we do as coaches is, this is what I notice in kind of coaches as they go through their coaching journey, is like we start off really like trying to learn the specifics of what people need and trying to explain drills and trying to like more of the emphasis is like knowing what to do and then helping others know what to do. And then I think as we go on our coaching journey, more of the emphasis becomes on maybe providing the vision or helping people understand what's possible for them. And like in some ways that's kind of more important, because once they see that, then they're willing to maybe put in the effort. So like getting player buy-in and stuff, we have some talks on that. I think Tarek's talking on that this year, generating player buy-in, and also I think Sama's talking on some mental toughness stuff that I think is going to be good for that. That's good. And then Serena from the chat chimes in, yeah, that can often be challenging, matching expectations of what everyone wants or expects from a team, from a particular team environment or team level. So yeah, I think that's a common challenge. What players want versus what they're able to commit to, what they think is possible versus what they need to do to execute in order to get what's possible. Yeah, there's a challenge. It's great.
Yeah, because most of them, most of them I'm like, I want you to give me a plan, you know? And I'm like, okay, take it. And then they don't do it. So what, why do you ask for it, man? Like, you know, I've been for hours doing a plan.
Oops, I think you got frozen. Oh, sorry, Carlos, I think you're frozen. So I'm gonna move on to Serena. I think you had your hand up. Oh, maybe I'm frozen. Am I frozen? Uh-oh. If everyone's frozen, it's probably me that's frozen. We have Kat with her hand up. Oh no, my internet just went out. What just happened?
Everybody on board was just part of our team culture, is that we work hard. And what do we do to do that? And one of the things they did, this may not be so new anymore, but just like created, you know, a stream of photos, like, here's me doing my workout. That's not at practice, but here's me doing my workout, and like, hey, somebody else jump on board with that. So those were a couple of strategies, like really emphasizing that we work hard as a team to get to where we want to go. And that'll be different for every athlete for whatever time commitment that they can realistically put in. And I just think it's often like, yeah, totally a coaching challenge. Like, we all want that athlete that's like committed 100% and like is going to put it all and listen to all the plan. And that just happens probably so rarely. So we have to sort of really come along in our own coaching practices to work with sort of what we've got and match that. I think that just matching that expectations. And I think, like, a little bit of a plug for Melissa, I think some of where she's been going with a lot of her UAP stuff is really getting to some of that nitty gritty stuff. And a lot of it's sort of that mental, how do you get that mental attitude to match the hard work and practice to go and put that out and get that desire out. But it's just, I think, emphasizing with some of the different teams, if it's a newer team or a newer group of people coming together, hard work, and just creating the culture where that's what we do. We practice hard, we bring it, we focus, things like that. I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in with some other strategies or ideas.
Amazing. Thanks, Serena, for jumping in while I get kicked off. I saw Kat with her hand up, and then we're at about an hour, but I see a lot of you are still here. I want to respect your time as well. But so let's hear from Kat, and then yeah, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Go ahead, Kat.
This is a topic that's really interesting to me because I work with 12 to 18-year-olds. And so there's a very wide range of what they're capable of versus what their understanding of like their own bodies. They're such, pardon me for saying it, but they're kind of spazzes at 12. But watching them progress is super fun. But one of the ways that we've been addressing it, and I don't know necessarily if this works for all age groups, but gamifying practice really makes a difference because they stop thinking about, oh, this is real, is boring, and that you turn it into an obstacle course. And suddenly they're like, wow, that's kind of cool. Or even in the middle of practice, sometimes stopping and going, okay, you guys are not focusing on whatever and playing. Now we're just going to play 500 for 10 minutes. Or we just messed them up the other day and make them play box. And just shaking it up so that they're not overly focused on thinking about it as being work. And maybe it is because of the age group, but suddenly they find themselves working. I had them doing push-ups and I thought they were going to be complaining about push-ups, but we gamified the push-ups. And suddenly it was fun for them because they're like, oh, I did 20 and somebody else did 25. So suddenly they start to get motivated. So I don't know, that's just my experience, and I'm really new at this. So I'm just trying to find ways to keep them engaged and moving forward. So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Sorry, I'm just gonna catch
Melissa,
up
can
in the
I
chat.
jump in? Can
Yeah,
I
go
jump
ahead,
in?
go
I
ahead,
just can't
Jessica.
work out how to raise my hand. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
That's really amazing that Kat just picked that up. I asked in the chat about this like game-based learning, and but the group that I'm working with is a master's women's group. In the UK, it's sort of aiming to be the first sort of sustainable women's masters team that isn't just a kind of pickup team to go to various events, but the ethos behind it is people who have played at the top level in the UK for a long time and don't want to drill anymore. They don't want to do the off the line drill. So everything we're doing is game-based and game-based learning, but the team is still training and is still trying to improve as a team, but doing it in a way that is like gamified. So that's really awesome to hear that. And it'd be cool maybe to have a chat about doing it with 12-year-olds versus doing it with like 30+-year-olds. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sweet, excellent. Yeah, so it seems like that's a kind of popular theme, excuse me, the gamification of practice. Yeah, so I'm excited for that talk from Daniel as well. So yeah, excellent. All right, anyone else want to chime in or have anything else to add or another question? We have several folks here who are coaching youth. Yeah, maybe what I want to do next is just help you all connect each other a little bit more. So for those of you who are coaching youth, say high school, let's go with middle school. If you're coaching middle school, put a 2 in the chat. Kind of it's a way of identifying yourselves. I know there's at least 2 of you here. There were at least 2 of you here. Okay, excellent. Yep, Carlos is also coaching middle school. Elijah. Oh yeah, middle school. What are the ages of middle school? Yeah, someone will have to remind me.
I think from 14 to, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, somewhere between 11 and 14 looks like. Okay, yeah, so if you're coaching somewhere between 11 and 14-year-olds, put a 2 in the chat. Okay, there's at least a couple of you. Yeah, so just kind of maybe recognize those names as you see those folks later in the conference, or maybe you can stalk each other on Facebook, whatever you're comfortable with. Those are the people that you might want to exchange tips and information. Okay, and Umar is looking to get into coaching middle school. Sweet. Okay, and how about put a 3 in the chat if you're coaching high schoolers, or if you want to connect with folks who are coaching high schoolers. Okay. So Elijah also coaching high school. Some overlap in those groups. Santiago, Umar, excellent. Okay, lots of overlap. Okay, great. Okay, how about put a 4 in the chat if you are especially interested in trading tips on gamification of practice. Put a 4 in the chat. Lots of folks. Excellent. That's what I figured. And maybe how about put a 5 in the chat if something that's really interesting to you or a challenge is this thing that Carlos is talking about, is kind of getting player expectations to match up with kind of like the work required, or motivation, maybe player buy-in. Not sure exactly how to phrase that, but that kind of issue. Okay, lots of folks. Also a popular topic. Okay, cool. All right, so basically, if you can see in the chat, you can kind of see what folks are kind of into the same things you are. You can send them a direct message and say hi. So just some like how you use Zoom. If you click on their name in the chat, that should open up the option to type a direct message directly to that person. So if you want to say hi, you can do that. Yeah, if you just want to make note of someone you want to meet, you can do that. And then for the reactions, if you're wanting to use that later, again, that should be at the bottom. I think it should be at the bottom of your Zoom screen. So anytime you want to raise your hand, or you can like give me a heart, that'd be nice. If you're gonna give me like a little thumbs up or whatever, that's where you can find those reactions at the bottom. That's also a way to let me know if you are having other issues. What else is down there? Oh yeah, you can do yeses and nos. Yeah, but anyway, during the conference too, if you're having any technical issues, you can also text the chat, let us know. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you time to sort of connect with each other if you want to in the chat. You can also just try out that direct message function so you know how to learn it, use it later. Seppo give me a wow reaction, excellent. Okay. All right, is anyone coaching university? Okay, great question. Okay, how about put a 6 in the chat if you are coaching university, college level. And if there's any question or topic or other thing that you want to connect around, you can put that in the chat. And Carlos says, I need to get a life. Carlos is coaching everything all day, so. Yeah, if there's any other topic you want to connect around, let me know in the chat and I'll make a number for you. Carlos says pretty much. So Carlos is a font of resources for lots of age groups, very experienced. And it was coaching college, okay, yeah. All right, any other topics or questions you want to connect around? Okay. Great. Okay, so yeah, what I encourage you to do is connect with people in the chat, send some DMs, or just get to know some people. And then, okay, yeah, great. So Seppo says moving from recreational to competitive. Yeah, that is a popular topic. So how about put a 7 in the chat if that's your situation. You got a team, you're trying to move from casual play or recreational play to more competitive play. Excellent. Yeah. All right, yeah, so what I recommend is that if you haven't looked at the schedule already of presentations for the conference, the best way to do this is to make a plan, figure out, what are your like top 3, make sure you prioritize those and put those in your schedule. And again, if you can't make the talk live, live I think works best. If you can't make the talk live, just make a plan. And I would just, if I were me, I'm a calendar person, I would just block off some time in my calendar to make sure that I don't miss it, the recording the next day. So yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it. Figure out what topics you're interested in and what matches those. If you have specific coaching questions or topics that you're interested in, but you're not sure where they're covered or you don't feel like they are covered this year, feel free to shoot me an email. Especially if you're coaching a Game IQ member or considering becoming a member, I can point you into the direction of talks that we have in our library that are going to be relevant to what your current issues are. Okay, and again, if you're interested in hosting a UAP style conference of your own for your own community, remember that you can email me. How do we connect with the peeps in the chat outside the chat? Yeah, so Seppo says in South Africa, we do WhatsApp. Yeah, so my kind of philosophy here is like you're all adults, obviously don't share personal information in the chat or whatever, but if you guys want to connect with each other on Facebook, you might get an invite from someone on Facebook. It's up to you whether you want to accept that or not. However you want to connect is good. Yeah, and Seppo, if you choose to share your WhatsApp number with others, like that's fine. WhatsApp is less popular in the United States, I think, more popular internationally. But yeah, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, however you want to do it, feel free. Or if anyone wants to leave their Twitter handle or something in the chat or their Facebook name, feel free to do that too. Okay, excellent. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, all right. So I think that's pretty much going to be wrapping it up. Hopefully you've had time to connect with someone, whether it's in your breakout rooms or in the chat. Hope you'd enjoyed this welcome party. I really enjoyed it. I'm happy to see so many familiar faces here, but then also so many new faces. And I think that's just really really awesome. So again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming to the welcome party and getting the conference started off right. I will see you again in a couple hours. We are going to have Dante talking about speed work, specifically running for him. So for all of you that have an S&C event, Carlos, hope to see you there. Although I don't know if that, yeah, that should work for you, Johnson. So that's going to be at, yeah, it's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's Dante talking about the relationship between running form and speed, whether there's one or not. And then later we've got Fiona, so she's going to be talking about throwing, yeah, how to help your players throw better. So that's going to be awesome. Excited to have both of those as new conference presenters this year. Yeah, that's it. Okay, great job, everyone. Thank you all for participating. And I will see you all. Oh, Kat has a last question. Yep.
I'm looking at the schedule and it looks like it says Dante's speaking at 8 p.m. PST. Is that correct? Not 9 p.m.
It would be, it should be 9 p.m. Eastern, so that would be 6 p.m. Pacific. Is that
9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. It looks like it's at.
Where are you reading it?
I guess it's in the email.
Okay, in the email it says, what does it say in the email?
Well, underneath the about the speaker, the times are. Oh, I see. It's above the title of the talk, not below
sorry.
it. Okay,
yeah, so,
perfect.
Right, there's a lot of information in those emails. Yeah, totally. I can see how the formatting can be confusing. I think it starts with the time and then it says the title.
Yep.
So.
Thanks for clearing it up. Thanks.
Okay, great. All right, cool. All right. Okay. Yep. Okay. Any other questions? If you get confused, feel free to email me and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. I'm going to be a bit busy this week with email, so if I don't reply, that's why. But yeah. Okay. Yep. So it should be 9 p.m. Eastern, and then yeah, the next one is 9 p.m. Eastern, and then the one after that is 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. That's it. I will let you go, and I will see you again online soon. Again, thanks so much for taking time out of your schedule to be here. And I really hope this week is fruitful for you with some excellent education and also connection. So, all right, that's it. Bye.